Hi, everybody. Bryant Greening here from LegalRideshare. I'm here with Abdul Kasim from DisplayRide. We wanted to take an opportunity to talk to our audience and encourage them to take a look at DisplayRide because they're doing some really cool things that are important for gig workers, keeping gig workers safe, and just helping advance the cause. Abdul, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure, Brian. Thank you for the opportunity.
I think let's just start at the beginning. Can you tell everybody what DisplayRide is?
Right. So DisplayRide, we are a Silicon Valley-based company, and our goal is very, very specific to make rideshare safe, basically. And that's what we are focused on. We've developed a solution to address that. We think it's the best solution in the market, but of course, I may be a little biased, but judging from the feedback from customers, we think we are. And so especially we are focused on the driver side of it because we think it's pretty much been ignored. So we've developed a solution which hopefully will address safety, keep them safe, and make a lot of money.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the features?
Sure. So first of all, our solution is called the Rideshare Monitoring Platform, and it the main thing is the main thing that I'd like to emphasize is we are not like a dash cam company. I mean, there are tons of dash cams out there. We are not. We are a solution-oriented company, which are addressing the problems that are faced with. Specifically, we are addressing three aspects, right? One is, try to prevent safety incidents from happening. That's the first thing, ideally. But obviously, we know that we can't always do that. So we try to monitor every ride, both audio, video, inside, outside. So we are aware of it, and we use a lot of artificial intelligence and things of that sort to essentially to detect if there's any potential issue, and so we can intervene or some action can be taken. So if there is an incident, so we can de-escalate it very quickly. So that is sort of the approach that we have used, basically, to develop our solution, right? So everything from ideally prevent it to at least document it and try to de-escalate it if possible. So our solution, which we call the Rideshare Monitoring Platform, really has a dashcam component to it, but that is only a small portion of it. It records everything. For example, some features, as you said, to answer your question, we proactively notify, or we generate audio alerts periodically, which says, hey, the ride is being recorded for your safety. So it's a simple thing, but it sort of, mitigates any potential bad intentions, so that kind of stuff. And then it automatically records everything that happens inside and outside the vehicle automatically, and it's uploaded immediately onto a secure cloud location. So it's a built-in wireless platform, so it's automatically done. It takes literally, just to put things in perspective, it takes about 30 seconds to set up our device. You just have to plug it into the cigarette lighter, and that's it. And just set it up on your windscreen, on your windshield, and that's it. It'll start recording, uploading it automatically, nothing to be done. And after every ride, what we do is we actually generate what we call a video summary, and we send it by SMS to the driver, so they just can get a quick feel for what happened, in case there was an incident and stuff like that. In addition to that, right, if for example, we see a lot of incidents where there are passengers who just basically lie, I think, to put it bluntly. They say that, hey, there was an incident, the driver was rude to me and things like that. And usually what happens is the rideshare company usually deactivates the driver at that time until they investigate, and the investigation can take several weeks or God knows how long. And that's mostly a he said, she said kind of thing. They interview both and they'll see who's most credible and that sort of thing. With our stuff, right, since everything is recorded, the driver can very easily request a specific segment. We give the audio, video, and things like that, and we can send it to the driver, obviously to the driver, but we can also send it to LegalRideshare, in case they need some legal support. And if necessary, either through LegalRideshare or directly, we can send it to the rideshare company as well. So everybody has a clear view of what actually transpired. It is a not only it is nobody could have modified the video and audio. So you have a very authentic thing of what happened. And within minutes, within seconds, in fact, you can know what happened, what the truth was. So the driver is sort of protected in that sort of sense. Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
music to my ears. It's like you went into my brain and, you're the engineer that I wish I could be. Um, we have been preaching to drivers the importance of evidence and deterrence. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what DisplayRide does. You're like I know you say you're not a dash cam, but you're a dash cam on steroids. You've got
Yeah.
so many different components to ensure that rides are documented and that evidence is preserved if something does happen. And then the fact that a rider hears or knows that the ride is being recorded serves as a deterrence to potential bad actors. People are not likely to commit acts of violence or harassment or lie if they know that evidence exists that's going to confirm the driver's version of the events, or perhaps put them in jail if the driver needs to pass this evidence along to the police. So you guys are doing an awesome job of making rides safe from the onset and then providing the evidence that drivers need if something does go wrong.
We, in fact, to add to that, Brian, we also record audio. Of course, inside every state there is, you cannot record audio without the permission, but in most states you can. In which case, we also, we have seen a lot of drivers being verbally abused. Not physically necessarily. So it's a kind of, they have a slur or whatever. So this captures it correctly, and that could also be used. One other aspect is the system automatically detects if there's an accident. Because we have built-in systems within the device itself. So if it sees a sudden movement, sudden jerk, sudden stoppage, it will automatically figure out what happened. It obviously has a record of, it will record, it continually keeps recording. But what we do is whenever we detect an accident, we generate an accident report about the physical location, the audio, video, inside and outside, 3 minutes prior to the accident, 3 minutes after the accident. So you get a holistic picture, and we can immediately send it to the driver as well as to LegalRideshare.
And
So within seconds, you'll know exactly what happened.
Yeah, Abdul, that's been so helpful for us to have evidence like that, because oftentimes accidents are also he said, she said situations. I just got off the phone before our conversation today with a driver who was sideswiped. And the other driver is saying that the Uber driver tried to change lanes into their lane. And the Uber driver says, no, it was the other way around. This person was entering my lane. Normally, without footage and recording, everybody throws their hands up in the air and says, I don't know what happened. And everybody is kind of SOL. The driver doesn't get to collect for his injuries. He loses wages. His insurance is working to fix his vehicle, and he's got to pay the deductible. Well, he sent me over the dash cam footage, and we're going to be able to handle that case for him. No problem. The footage does not lie. The footage absolves the driver. And most importantly, the footage protects the driver by helping get, showing that the insurance claim should be handled in their benefit, putting money in their pocket for medical bills, compensating them for lost wages. And DisplayRide allows all that to happen because they're capturing everything in real time.
Exactly. And also, we do not require driver to do anything other than just press a button. If they need a deactivation support, we call it a support system, really, because we have LegalRideshare, everybody's involved, in the process. So the driver, typically if there's an incident, usually they are emotionally distraught. I mean, you're in an accident or some incident, and you're not really, you don't want to go download the video, monitor it, send it to somebody, all that stuff. You just want it done for you, basically. And that's what we do. Unlike there are some dash companies, obviously we can record information, but again, they'll have to manipulate it and all that. And, you're in a difficult situation, and we don't want that. We will take care of that for you. That's the idea. We also have one other thing, Brian, is we have introduced is we have a customer support button. So on the device itself, they can just press something, and we will almost have like a OnStar thing, like in a lot of the vehicles. So you have somebody out there. So essentially, we want the driver to feel that we are all behind them. So they feel safe. and they feel, it's not just the driver. When the driver feels safe, his behavior becomes better, they're more comfortable, and the passenger also feels that. We have seen drivers who have said that their rating has increased because they feel safe and they feel more pleasant, that sort of thing. And it sort of affects, it has a downstream impact as well.
Yeah, we tell people all the time, and this is not news to drivers, there's really no place that's less safe than a moving car with a stranger. You don't
Absolutely.
know what the intentions are of that other person, and having this security system at your fingertips really helps clear the air. And like we were saying earlier, it also helps with passenger behavior because they're less likely to act aggressively or rudely or violently if they know everything's being recorded. So we're really happy to hear that this outcome is here for drivers to put everybody in the safest possible position. And a lot of what you're talking about goes hand in hand with LegalRideshare's work.
Absolutely.
We're an accident and injury law firm, so we help drivers who have been injured in car accidents. We help them with their insurance claims, collect money for lost wages, pain and suffering, medical bills, whatever damages you may sustain. And by having DisplayRide connect the driver with LegalRideshare immediately, that allows us to get the claim started right away, collect all the evidence right away, and it's seamless. It's really a natural partnership here, where we're working for the driver to make it a better, safer, hopefully more lucrative experience.
I think you hit the nail, right? It's a seamless experience. That's what we're trying to deliver. Because at the end of the day, the driver has a problem. We're trying to solve. He has an accident or some false claim against him or her. And what we are trying to do is, the driver does not have to download video separately, send it somewhere, edit it, mail it, find a lawyer. All the kind of stuff, right? It's a hassle. It's a process in itself. And what we're saying is, hey, you have a problem. We have a solution. It doesn't matter whether it's LegalRideshare, DisplayRide, we all work as cohesive unit. So the driver's problem is resolved. That is the idea. And that's what, to my earlier point, we are not a dash cam company, right? We don't like to, because we are not, dash cam is a component to the overall solution because we are using a lot of technology, but not just technology, we're using also process, right? We are immediately sending a back-end information to, if the driver, to be clear, the driver still has the responsibility. He or she owns the data, but with their permission, they can immediately send it to LegalRideshare. So, they don't have to figure out, okay, where do I find an attorney, who's competent, get feedback. No, you guys are familiar. You guys know this is your bread and butter. You do it daily. So it makes sense, so I think we bring the entire solution to that, to the driver, and we're using technology, processes, whatever it takes, basically. So I think that is resonating with drivers tremendously because they feel now somebody is on their side. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Really.
I'm sorry, Abdul, you've just been in an accident. You don't need the extra hassle of going through all these extra steps. Let DisplayRide, let LegalRideshare handle the nitty gritty. You concentrate on getting the medical treatment that you need. You concentrate on getting that vehicle repaired. Let us handle the evidence and the insurance claims and all that other stuff so that you can concentrate on what's important to you.
I think that's the reason, Bryant. I think we are resonating with drivers. Drivers know we are really not providing a tool. We are providing a solution. That's the, I think, big differentiator. Sort of, yeah.
And we're in this space. I think that's one of the biggest problems that drivers face is so often they're salesmen that try to make a quick buck off of a rideshare driver. You can name the industry, whether it's dash cams, whether it's legal, whether everybody recognizes that this is a big market and there's lots of people trying to grab at it. Well, DisplayRide, LegalRideshare, we've been in this market working with drivers for years. And the reputations that our companies have built are that we care about the drivers, and that's why we develop the products that we do. I think DisplayRide has proven that in the ways in which it's developed its tools. People who just enter this space off the street, they don't know what's important to a driver. They don't know that deactivations are one of the biggest issues that drivers face. Well, you're speaking their language. And I think that's why this this space has opened up for you and why drivers have really taken to your product.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I think that yeah, absolutely. There's really no need for a driver to figure out all these things, because that's the whole idea. We're providing a value-added service, and I think that it resonates so much with the driver because they know we understand their problems rather than and also the other thing, Brian, there's a great diversity in the driver customer base, right? I mean, some guys are pretty sophisticated, a lot of them are not. And then there is this legal component. You're talking to, let's say there's a problem with Uber or Lyft or one of these guys, you're talking to their customer service or the legal guys. You don't know how to navigate this, which is what you guys do for a living, right? I mean, you know exactly how to do that and how to deal with it, even with insurers, right? So we provide that. We provide you, or you have the proof, if you will, and we enable that, and then you are the front end. You're representing the driver's best interest. So it's a win-win solution. And actually, the funny thing is, it really is win-win for even the rideshare company as well as insurers and others, right? Because insurers, guess what? Today it takes about several weeks for a deactivation complaint to be resolved, and that most of the time it'll be resolved. Probably just they make some assumptions which are mostly untrue, probably because they don't have information
against the drivers.
Yeah, it's mostly against the drivers because customers, they don't want to lose customers. And guess what? The passenger is very articulate and comes up with a sob story. And you have a front end guy at Uber or Lyft or whatever, the customer service guy, not there. You're asking them to be Sherlock Holmes, quite frankly, and they're not equipped to be that, right? So here we are giving them something. It's good for them because now they don't have to spend 2 weeks of their time investigating. They can get it. And one of the things we feel is, if you send it early on, the driver does not have to go through this headache of going through this deactivation, be out of the platform, figure out. For a lot of them, this is their livelihood, right? I mean, you're interrupting them. So this is an opportunity we're thinking. We believe it's a win-win for everybody. Even insurers, you can go to the insurers, you can get the best deal for the driver, the right deal. And the insurer, why will he have to send somebody to the accident spot, investigate? There's a lot of overhead. We're just eliminating that by,
Well, it's in the law, we say it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And
exactly.
DisplayRide is the proof. And LegalRideshare would be happy to present the evidence that DisplayRide offers to drivers to help further their claims, whether it's accident, injury, deactivation. We want to be able to use this evidence to further the driver's cause. So we encourage every driver to at least have a dash cam. That's got to be the bare minimum, but DisplayRide offers so much more, and the evidence is just really second to none. So Abdul, I really appreciate your coming on and taking the opportunity to explain your product and just how you guys are helping out drivers. I think it's really, really awesome, and we appreciate everything you're doing.
It's my pleasure, Bryant. Anytime.